WJZ TV Baltimore, this is Eyewitness News with Al Sanders. Denise Koch. Weather with Bob Turk. Sports with John Buren.
It's one of those troubling calls.
Fire in a juvenile detention center. Several are overcome by smoke.
Such a call brought firefighters to the Charles Hickey School tonight, Baltimore County. The night team's Paula Tutman has a live report from the scene. Paula?
Al, I'm being told the fire may have been deliberately set in Unit 2, and that's the only unit in the facility that houses the female students. Apparently, some curtains and a trash can were set fire to. However, staff members were able to put that fire out almost immediately. Would you consider this a minor, major, or medium event?
I would say it's fairly minor. It happens at times, kids act out. We are investigating as to how the girls got matches. That is not allowed and very unusual. But as far as an incident goes, it involves very few students.
But that fire was not contained before some injuries, I'm being told by the school's public relations. None of the girls was injured as a direct result of the fire. Some girls apparently suffered smoke inhalation, another fainted, and all of the 18 girls regularly housed in the Unit 2, 5 were taken to area hospitals. We know 3 are being treated at GBMC and are going to be released back into the custody of the school. However, we can't confirm the whereabouts or the conditions of the other 2. 3 girls suspected of being responsible for the fire have been removed from the unit, but I'm also being told that things have pretty much returned to normal and there is a full investigation underway. And of course, we'll have more tomorrow morning on the morning edition. Al, back to you.
Thank you, Paula. Paula Tutman reporting live on the fire tonight at the Hickey School in Cub Hill.
There are clues, but still no suspects in the brutal murder this morning of a Baltimore furniture store executive. 30-year-old Arron Levenson was gunned down in front of the Royal Furniture Store, a business founded by the Levensons nearly a century ago. Robbery is thought to be the motive behind the 3 shots that took Levenson's life. Though the gunman left the money he carried near his body. Most employees say they were touched by the murder.
He was like a brother, and it wasn't like vice president or president. This was a really close-knit company.
Yesterday, we were joking and kidding with him sitting at the table eating lunch. So that's the kind of
it wasn't
boss he was.
Levenson's 70-year-old father nearly collapsed at his son's side. He was rushed to the hospital and later released. Meanwhile, police are analyzing spent cartridge shells, a footprint found on the street, and fingerprints the 2 gunmen left on a car as they ran from the scene. The suspects are thought to be young men in their late teens or early 20s. And in the Brooklyn area of New York, another painful look at life on city streets. A teenage girl was stabbed to death while carrying her week-old son in her arms. The young woman was stabbed once in the chest by another 17-year-old girl with whom she had a long-standing feud. The baby was not injured, and police are still looking for the assailant.
Tonight, the medical examiner has issued his report on a baby born at a Baltimore hotel restroom. The baby was born in the bathroom of the downtown Marriott Hotel last month. A 34-year-old South Baltimore woman gave birth to the full-term baby boy and then put him in the toilet. The medical examiner says the baby was stillborn and never took a breath. A babysitter is more than a person who just sits with a child. A babysitter is a surrogate parent entrusted with the very life of the children he or she is watching. The night team's Lowell visits a brand new school just for sitters.
Hello, my name is Mary Krevash. I'm a babysitter at whatever address at 3278178, and the child is choking, and I'm doing CPR. So could you please come fast?
Mary has never gone through this in a real babysitting job, but now she's prepared just in case. Mary and 9 other kids are in a 3-day training session to become safe sitters.
I babysit a lot, and I don't want anything to happen to the children when I'm watching them, and they're my responsibility.
This is the Safe Sitter program at Francis Scott Key Med Center, where kids learn CPR.
You go up and you notice that the baby stopped breathing. What would you do?
They also learn how to prevent danger.
And they've learned what toys not to let them play with.
For the 10 to 14 students who take the Safe Sitter class, they learn more than just how to save a life. They learn how to interview parents.
Hi, Lisa. I'm Lynn Wilkes, and I'd like you to babysit Christina tonight. She's a 6-month-old.
Does she have any irregular habits?
You know, if parents are in a rush and they leave real quickly, they may not think about telling the child where they may be located, where to handle or to get supplies they may need.
What time would you like me to put her to bed?
Okay, she'll probably start getting sleepy around 8 or 9 o'clock. If she starts getting cranky or crying, that's probably a good sign.
And what do the parents of these newfangled babysitters think?
I think she would have more confidence, and I would feel better knowing that she would know what to do in the event of an emergency.
Well, Brenda Ingles thinks it's worth the $12 price tag, especially when the payback could be a child's life. For the night team, Lowell Deo, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
The next Safe Sitter class begins November 7th. For information, call Francis Scott Key Pediatrics.
A very bumpy ride on an Eastern Airlines jetliner has left 2 elderly passengers in critical condition tonight. The jetliner had left Washington bound for Palm Beach when it was slammed by turbulent air. Passengers say it felt like the jet dropped several hundred feet. Some were sent bouncing into the cabin ceiling. A man in his mid-80s suffered a chest contusion, an elderly woman a broken hip, and a 3rd passenger is hospitalized with a broken ankle and cut chin. 10 others were treated for bumps and bruises. Well, safety in an airplane emergency has prompted the industry to put new restrictions on seating. Starting tomorrow, only able-bodied people will be allowed to sit by an aircraft's exit doors. Those people must also be willing to open the doors in an emergency and help flight crews evacuate the plane. Gate agents at each airport will assign the exit row seats. The airlines say this is an important safety initiative.
5 Europeans are free tonight after a daring escape from Iraq in a lifeboat. The men, 3 British and 2 French, used a small lifeboat to slip to freedom under the noses of their Iraqi guards. They spent 25 hours in rough seas after maneuvering the 10-foot boat through marshes into the Shatt al Arab waterway in